Alright, Steve Alligari was asking me about what animes I used to watch. Not really watching any at the moment. Don't tend to watch a lot of anything in general these days, apart from YouTube and getting distracted and doing Ken-Kens. Ken-Kens being the maths version of a Sudoku, and if you can hear noises in the background, that's Triton chewing on a Bennett bone or something. I don't know. It's a fake bone, fake wood stick thing. I don't know, it's got maple wood and nylon. The things they make for animals these days. Anyway, no, animes I used to watch. I was going to actually film this in my room, but I ran out of time. So that's why we're here. Which means I don't have props, but obviously Pokemon, one of the earliest ones you get exposed to as a Western kid, at least when I was growing up. Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is good fun. Pokemon and Digimon are kind of interesting because Pokemon, at least back then, the game was really good, but the TV show, very simplistic by comparison. Some of the early episodes were better, but then it sort of settles into a very boring formula. And occasionally something happens, but mostly it's the same thing. Usually an issue caused by Team Rocket, and then they blast off again and everything's back to normal, and occasionally something gets caught. In the early days, Ash would just get Pokemon by accident, and it's like, oh my god. Anyway, never mind that. Basically, dodgy TV show, really good game. Then when you look at Digimon, it was just like those sort of Tamagotchi type things, except they connect, which was a big deal in the 90s. I'm so old anyway. Kind of like if you consider that a game, crap game, very simplistic, but amazing TV show. I watched the first 3 seasons, and then after that I lost track. But yeah, the first 2 seasons. So season 2 is probably the one that made me go, hey, this is really cool, because Ken, complex character, lots of issues, dark side, serious depression, and I was like depressed at the same time that I saw the depression episode, and it was just like, holy crap. There was so much that was relatable in that as well, because he was a good student, I was a good student, but with lots of fucked up thoughts. So yeah, Digimon season 2. But I remember Digimon season 3 also being good, but I can't remember why. But I do have the box set, so once I finish Xena, I will get onto that and try and remember exactly what it was that I liked about season 3. It's also got season 4 and 5. I never watched them. Maybe I'll get around to them at some point. But yeah, first 3 seasons of Digimon. Yu-Gi-Oh! When I say Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean the original run, like seasons 1 to 5 with the Pharaoh and all that. I really need to get a box set of that. I've sort of been kicking myself for not buying it when I saw it in the JB Hi-Fi way back, but my financial position was less secure, especially because I assumed that I would have to save up and move out and make something of my life. I don't know, maybe I can get one secondhand, or maybe I'll do an anniversary edition and then I can get a box set that way. Do they still make DVDs these days? Because I know Moon Knight came out on Blu-ray and 4K, and I'm like, bitch. Because Dell sort of fucked up my computer and now I don't have a Blu-ray drive anymore. I'm gonna have to get another one. Anyway, that's another video I haven't made. I'm procrastinating on making. Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragon Ball Z. I remember when that started, we had Cheese TV here in Australia, and when they started playing that, and we'd also tape them on our old VHS if we couldn't watch them because we had to get to school. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z. So that's probably like the early childhood stuff. Also, like, once we got Foxtel, and if I stayed up late enough, and there was Neon Genesis Evangelion, and it would always be after Linkin Park Points of Authority, the remix version, where they had like a sort of mecha thing in their music video, you know, with the... Well, I don't know if they were like mechs or like just robot things attacking them. So Neon, I think that's probably the main ones, like childhood or like while I was still at school. And then getting out of school, really, it was my brother Dave who watched more of the anime, so I probably came across more through him. The best one that I remember watching was Great Teacher Onizuka, which I don't even know how we ended up with that, but I think he got the first two. They might have been given to him or something, but eventually he got the whole set. And it's like, it's one of those ones where if you gave me the blurb, like what it's about, I wouldn't bother. But once we're actually watching it, it was actually like really, it's well done, it's funny. Yeah. Great Teacher Onizuka. I think those are the main ones, honestly, that stand out. Or the other ones, I mean, I've watched the occasional one here and there, but yeah, I really wasn't that into anime. I did read some manga. Yeah, I think so Dave also had, you know, the Matrix, when the Matrix came out, and supposedly it was inspired by anime, and he had the box set of, like, maybe there were 3 anime that they said influenced the Matrix, and one of them was like Ghost in a Shell. I remember watching it but struggling with it. I also bought, I got the first DVD thing of Nadesco, but I can barely remember. I think it like sort of looked like Neon Genesis, so that's probably why I got it, but it wasn't maybe what I was looking for. Shit, Zoids! And that's why I hate the whole Schizoid thing, calling themselves Zoids, because I'm like, no, that's so lame. A proper Zoid is like Liger Zero, or there were a couple of different seasons of Zoids, I think, and my brain can't remember which one's which. And there's this whole thing about the Zoid Eve, and I didn't really understand what that was about at the time. There were lots of like different animes that used to pop up when we had Foxtel. That was like pay TV in Australia. Which I think, I don't even know if that's still around, but you know, we used to get Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, and Zoids was fun. It's like, you know, sort of that Power Rangers vibe or Neon Genesis vibe, but yeah, that was kind of fun. There was another one, was this an anime or a manga where, the name escapes me. So it's been so long since I thought about any of these things, but they were like little robot things, and you can customize the robots. They're kind of like a little pet, and then you put like a medallion or a coin in them that gives them their personality, but I can't remember what it was called. And there was like an online, I just gotta see what Triton's doing. Oh, there he is. He's being a good boy. Just sort of looked at me, and now he's seen me. He's like, are you gonna give me something? Are we gonna do something? That's okay, as you were. But yeah, something about bots. Something bots, or I don't know. And there's like one where like, I think the robot was like a monkey and the medallion was a dog, and those bits don't go well together, so the robot didn't function very well. Or maybe it was the other way around. Was it a monkey medallion with a dog? I don't know, but you could interchange parts, and there was like an online game for a bit, and I played that for a bit, but I think you had to pay money to get anything good, so of course it didn't last. And whenever you played those games, and it would match you up with other people, but then they often wouldn't even play, or it would be very badly mismatched. Anyway, wow, I'm just like, now that I'm thinking of it, things like that pop up. So I think there's like a lot of little animes that maybe came up casually for me on Foxtel, but I just never really watched. You want to come in? Here, you've got a dog door, you know. Yeah, you don't have to wait for my permission. You are such a cutie. What's all this stuff stuck in your fur? Yeah, I don't know if someone can remember what that was called. Hey? Oh, was Monster Rancher? Was Monster Rancher an anime, or was that an American thing? I don't even remember, because I only saw like bits and pieces of a lot of these things, because they were on pay TV, and so I just sort of like flick on and it would be on, and I had no control over what episodes to watch. It's funny how TV viewing has come along, because back then you just sort of had to watch whatever they showed, but now it's like you can get your DVDs, you can get your streaming services, And that's how people tend to consume it. So you actually see things from start to finish instead of random episodes and not necessarily knowing what came before. I think that's kind of changed the way that they make TV as well now. Not that I watch much TV these days. This is just going to be a session of me trying to remember what anime I watched. Titan, don't do that. No. Oh, there's a fly. Get the fly, huh? Could get noisy. Oh dear. Yeah, I've got one on my shelf called Haibane Renmei. Haibane Renmei. It's like they're dead, but they're kind of in some weird in-between world, or I don't know, and they like have wings and they have to, I don't know, reach some point of clarity so that they can fly into the afterlife, or I don't remember. It's been a while since I watched it. That was kind of interesting. It was only like one season that I know of. Yeah, I don't think I watched a lot of the ones that people are into. Like, I didn't watch Gundam. I think I tried to watch it once and I was just not into it. I know my brother watched like Cowboy Bebop, One Piece, fuck knows what else. I think he found one of those online places to watch a lot of them too. And he had more manga than me as well. So it's funny because, like, for the most part, I am the one who's done a little bit more in Japanese culture. But for him, the main Japanese culture he engaged with was the anime and manga. Not these days, as far as I know. There was like some, was it like Demon Hunter manga or something? I think we tried to watch, no, we read Naruto. Because we used to get this Shonen Jump thing where it had a bunch of different hello, it had a bunch of different manga in it, and yeah, Naruto was excruciatingly slow. Yes. Yeah, are you going to turn this into the Triton show? Really? Who am I talking to? I'm talking to myself because I'm a crazy person. Yeah, I don't know. What else? Probably once I finish this video, I'll think of a whole bunch more. But I feel like the most obscure one, if I'm going to give any recommendation, the most obscure one, Great Teacher Onizuka. Have a look at that one. It's, at first you might be like, but once you get into it, trust me, it's actually, it gets good. And it's actually kind of wholesome in its own weird way. Oh no, am I missing anything? Anything like super important? I probably will be. But I feel like the main ones that had an impact on me is probably Neon Genesis, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Digimon. And if there's any others that were particularly significant, I'll just edit them in. Yeah, it's funny because I haven't really thought about it in such a long time. He's really going for that fly. I wonder if I should just swat it. Then again, it's keeping him out of trouble for the most part. I also, so if anything happens to me, remember, you've got to get your hands on my hard drive and publish it to the internet. But I did write, like, the first episode of something that could be anime style. And so if someone can, like, take that, animate it, publish it after my death, cool.